Hello and welcome to our video where we talk about Canada's trial procedure. I'm Kat and this won't take that long, so just sit back and relax. Today me and the other animals will be explaining the trial procedures of specifically Canada. We will be explaining what the adversarial system is, and each of us will explain 8 courtroom participants. So, if you're wondering what the adversarial system is, to explain in a nutshell, this system is used by countries who have incorporated the common law in their own national or provincial legal system. They have 2 legal advocates to represent a party and their case, in which an unbiased group of people or person, which is commonly the jury or the judge, impartially decides which advocate's case is true before they pass a judgment. Now that that's out of the way, let's move on to the roles of the participants. The Crown Attorneys or Crown Prosecutors are attorneys who have been hired by the government to represent it and society against the accused. Believed to have committed a crime against society, the Crown Attorney must prove that beyond a reasonable doubt that the accused did indeed commit a crime. The Crown Attorneys must follow a principle known as Principle of Disclosure, where they must disclose all their evidence, whether it hurts or benefits their case. This is so that the accused has a chance to give an answer and to prepare a full defense against a charge. The Crown Attorneys have a great reputation and influence. They may decide to lay or withdraw a criminal charge after consulting about a case with other law enforcers, such as a police officer. Moving on to the jury. You might recognize these certain participants as the people who sit inside a box known as the jury box. The juries are comprised of 12 ordinary people selected from an electoral list which lists everyone living around the area of the court's location. 75 to 100 potential jurors are then chosen from the list by a sheriff. This is known as the juror panels. The more controversial the case is, the more people are chosen. This is to eliminate people who have already formulated an opinion or are just outright biased about the case. The sheriff then sends a notice to the prospective jurors to be summoned to appear in court. A prospective juror who fails to appear in court can be warranted and could also receive a criminal charge, though they could contact the judge of the case and give them a reasonable reason for their absence before the trial begins. Depending on the province, the legislation outlines who can be a jury. However, the person or a person must meet the general qualifications to be a prospective juror. They must be a citizen, of course. They must be 18 years of age as well, or older. They must reside in the province for at least a year, must be able to communicate in English or French as well, and they must also be mentally fit to take on the responsibility. The jurors who have been selected are then made to swear an oath, which they must repeat. I swear to well and truly try and true deliverance make between our sovereign lady, the queen, and the accused at the bar, whom I have in charge, and a true verdict give, according to the evidence, so help me God. Jurors are usually expected to have no knowledge or prior skill regarding to law, but to be just an ordinary citizen, exempting citizens who are police, doctors, lawyers, even visually impaired, disabled, whether physically or mentally, and more. That about covers up the role of jury. Moving on, Black Bear will now take the reins. Take it away, Bear.
Alright, thanks, Kat. Hey everybody, I'm Black Bear, or Bear for short. Now that the introductions are over, let's talk about the role of the court recorder. Court recorders are perfectly described by their name. They write down and record anything that is said during the legal proceedings, and they can't take any shortcuts. No, they must record everything, word for word, no exceptions. What they record is known as a transcript, and it will become the official record of the proceedings. The next participant is the observer, and their roles are to provide information to the authorities and/or help victims of the criminal justice process. An example would be helping a victim or witness cope with testifying at the trial or to present a victim impact statement when the suspect is being sentenced during the trial. The next role is the defense counsel, and their role is to ensure that the accused is provided with a fair trial. They are to bring evidence to the court if there are any flaws, weaknesses, or holes in the Crown's defense agreement. Well, that was a fast explanation. I don't want to brag, but I'd say I did a pretty good job myself and was far more efficient than Kat. Anyway, your next host is Gorilla.
Why do you always have to be so dramatic?
Fine. Don't say thank you. Sure, I mean, I did set you up with a badass intro, but you do you, man.
Okay, now that that guy's out of the way, let's start with the introductions. I'm Gorilla, or Rilla as Cat and Dog calls me, or if you want to be like Bear, Gory. Let's talk about the roles of the witness. The witness is a person who is needed to come to court to answer about a case. The answer the witness gives to the court would become evidence. Before giving the evidence, the witness swears to only tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So, some of you may ask, what happens if they break what they promised to only do? Well, lying to the court is a crime called perjury, and one can be sentenced to 14 years in prison. If you refuse to answer a question that the judge allows to be asked, they can found guilty of contempt of court and can be sent to prison for a short amount of time. The next participant is the court clerk, and their roles is to be prepared and issue orders. They examine legal documents submitted to court and search all the files, and they contact the witnesses, attorneys, or the litigants. Obtain information for the court. The court clerk is a very important participant as they ensure that everything is set up correctly. Now, moving on to Dog.
Dog, what's with that outfit? And are you wearing a mop head? That's disgusting.
I am the honorable judge, you verbal peasant.
Well,
Order, I say, order! When I say order... Can I get a 2-topping large meat and bones pizza, no crust? Well, no sauce as well then. Yeah, no, okay, I'm good. Well, they just lost a customer, and it's the honorable judge Dog at that. And if you didn't know, the judge's role is to conduct the trial impartially in an open court, to look at all the evidence and hear witnesses presented by the prosecution and the defense, to decide whether the accused is guilty or innocent based on the evidence presented to him, and in accordance with the law. The accused tells the court whether they are pleading guilty or not guilty to the charges they have been received. If they plead guilty, a trial does not take place. If trial does not take place, they will be known as a defendant.
well, although you weren't an actual judge, good job on the explanation. Well, that's all for today. I hope you guys found this video informative, because if this wasn't, our hard work would have just gone to waste. Well, that's it for this little video of ours. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys found it entertaining. And bye-bye.